When the billionaire lady stepped onto the stage and announced, "The couple with the longest kiss wins," the ballroom erupted into laughter, gasps, and excited whispers, but Liam's heart almost stopped. He wasn't supposed to be here. He was a single dad who only came as a last-minute plus one for his sister, who begged him to accompany her to her company's annual charity gala. He had no business standing among the wealthy elite, under chandeliers brighter than his entire apartment. But when his eyes landed on Amelia Hartfield, the billionaire hosting the event, the woman with the guarded smile and loneliness she tried to disguise behind power, something inside him shifted. And when she turned her gaze right at him, as if she had been waiting for him all night, Liam felt something he hadn't felt in years. So when he swallowed hard and asked softly, "Do you want to try it?" he had no idea that one bold question would change not just his night, but his entire life. Liam never wanted to draw attention. He was the kind of man who stood at the edges of crowds, hands in his pockets, letting others take the spotlight. After losing his wife 4 years ago, the world had become smaller, quieter, and more fragile. His days revolved around school lunches, bedtime stories, and making sure his daughter, Lily, never felt the emptiness he still carried inside. Tonight was the one night he let his sister drag him somewhere he didn't belong. The gala was luxurious beyond his imagination, crystal tables, velvet curtains, people in gowns and diamonds. And then there was Amelia, confident, poised, and stunning in a silver dress that shimmered like moonlight. Everyone whispered about her, the billionaire philanthropist, the visionary, the woman who rebuilt her empire after being betrayed by the men she thought she'd marry. She had everything, or at least that's what the world believed. But Liam could see what most people missed. Behind her perfect smile was the exhaustion of a woman who had been strong for too long. When she announced the charity challenge, the fundraising game where the longest kissing couple would win a donation in their name, everyone laughed. It was harmless fun. But Amelia wasn't laughing. She was scanning the room, pretending not to be alone. Liam didn't know what possessed him. Maybe it was the way her shoulders stiffened under the spotlight. Maybe it was the way their eyes kept meeting even before the challenge was announced. Or maybe, for the first time in years, he wanted to feel something other than survival. So he walked toward her, his palms sweating, and whispered the words before he could stop himself. Her eyes widened, then softened, as if he had just offered her escape, from expectations, from judgment, from loneliness. Her breath trembled. "Are you sure?" she whispered. "No," he admitted. "But I can be, if you are." And for the first time that night, she smiled, a real one. The story of how they ended up participating in the gala's most ridiculous challenge began long before the kiss itself. Amelia was used to people wanting things from her, money, power, connections. She wasn't used to someone offering something simple. Something human. Liam's sincerity disarmed her. She studied him, noticing the calluses on his hands, the faint exhaustion beneath his eyes, the humility in his posture. He wasn't here to impress anyone. He wasn't playing games. And he didn't look at her like she was a billionaire. He looked at her like she was a person. Before the challenge began, she pulled him aside, the crowd buzzing with anticipation. "You really don't have to do this just because I'm standing alone," she whispered, her voice cracking on the last word. Liam shook his head. "I'm doing it because you looked like you needed someone in your corner." Then he added more quietly, "And maybe I do too." For a moment, she forgot the crowd. The cameras. The expectations. All she saw was a man who wasn't pretending. Chapter 1 unfolded slowly, beautifully, as the ballroom prepared for the challenge. Couples paired off, laughter echoed across the hall, and Amelia found herself standing next to a man whose warmth steadied her racing heart. The announcer explained the rules: no breaks, no pulling away, no interruptions. The longest kiss would determine the winner, and every minute raised more money for charity. Amelia tried to laugh it off, but her pulse betrayed her. Liam sensed her nerves and leaned closer. "We don't have to think of it as a competition," he murmured. "Let's just think of it as time. Time when no one can interrupt us." Those words sank into her chest like something she'd forgotten she needed. When the timer started and their lips finally touched, the world blurred. Not because it was romantic, not yet, but because it was grounding. His kiss wasn't rushed or hungry. It was gentle, patient, and warm like a sunrise after a long night. Amelia felt every wall she had built tremble under the weight of something she hadn't felt in years: safety. Liam, who had spent so long suppressing his own desires, felt a spark ignite inside him, one he had convinced himself he no longer deserved. The crowd faded. The music softened. For the first time, two people who had been broken in different ways found themselves becoming whole. Minutes turned into something deeper. The room filled with cheers and teasing shouts, but Liam never rushed her, never pressed for more than she offered, and Amelia found herself leaning into him, trusting him. The kiss became a conversation without words, a promise that they both needed something real. But the challenge wasn't the only test. As the minutes stretched on, Amelia's ex-fiancé, Victor Hayes, arrived at the gala unexpectedly. His presence sent a cold wave through her chest. This was the man who left her for a rival investor, the man who told her no one would ever choose her for love, only for a bank account. When Victor saw her kissing a stranger for charity, he scoffed loudly enough for people to hear. "She's pretending," he sneered. "She always does. She can't keep a man without buying him." Amelia flinched. Liam felt her hesitation immediately. He broke the kiss just long enough to whisper, "Ignore him. Look at me." She did. And in his eyes, she found something steady, something true. Without another word, he kissed her again, not for the crowd, not for the prize, but for her. Their kiss outlasted every other couple. When they finally pulled back, breathless, the ballroom erupted into applause. They won. But for Amelia, the real victory was that she had let someone see her again, really see her. And for Liam, the victory was rediscovering that his heart still worked. Chapter 2 began after the lights dimmed and the crowd dispersed. Amelia led Liam to the balcony overlooking the city, her silver dress glowing under the moonlight. She was quieter now, vulnerable in a way she rarely allowed herself to be. "People think I'm invincible," she whispered. "But tonight, I felt human again. With you." Liam leaned on the railing beside her. "People think I'm used to being alone," he replied. "And maybe I am. But kissing you, it reminded me that loneliness isn't living." They talked for hours, about her empire, about his daughter, about the dreams they buried under responsibilities. Amelia confessed her fears of being loved for the wrong reasons. Liam confessed how he feared giving his heart to anyone after losing his wife. Their honesty knitted them together in a way the kiss never could. Just when Amelia felt hope blossom, Victor reappeared, furious. "You think this charity case loves you," he spat. "He wants your money, Amelia. That's all anyone ever wants." Liam stepped in front of her, calm but firm. "I don't want her money," he said. "I want her to know she deserves someone who sees her heart, not her bank account." Victor laughed. "And you think you're that man?" "No," Liam replied softly. "I think I'm someone who's willing to try." "That's more than you ever did." Victor stormed off, humiliated. Amelia felt tears sting her eyes, not from pain, but relief. The night ended when Liam checked the time and realized how late it was. "I need to pick up Lily," he said with an apologetic smile. "My sister's watching her. She'll be asleep, but I like being there when she wakes up." Amelia's heart warmed. "You're a good father," she whispered. He shrugged gently. "I'm trying." She hesitated only a second before asking, "Could I meet her someday?" Liam blinked, surprised. "You'd want to?" "Of course," she whispered. "Anyone who has your heart is worth knowing." They stood there, two souls who met by chance, changed by a kiss that was supposed to be a joke but ended up rewriting both their stories. When he finally said goodnight and turned to leave, Amelia lightly grabbed his hand. "Liam," she asked softly. "Yeah. Tonight was the first time in a long time I didn't feel alone." He squeezed her hand gently. "Me too." She watched him walk away, her heart beating with a new kind of hope, one born not from wealth or power, but from something simple and powerful, connection. And as the moon glowed over the emptying ballroom, Amelia knew one thing with absolute certainty. The kiss might have won a charity challenge, but what she really gained was a beginning. A beginning she never expected. A beginning she was finally brave enough to want.